Okay, let's talk generators. Picking the right one can feel, well, a little overwhelming, but it really doesn't have to be. Today we're going to break it all down in the ultimate showdown, the new school inverter versus the old school conventional generator. Let's figure out which one is the right champion for you.
You know the feeling, right? The lights flicker, and then everything just goes dead silent. In that moment, all you can think about is, I wish I had a backup plan. So what is your plan? And more importantly, is it the right one?
Now let's be real, this isn't some rare thing anymore. With our power grids getting a little shaky and extreme weather popping up more and more, having a generator is kind of shifting from a nice-to-have luxury to a modern-day necessity.
But Anne, this is important. You can't just grab the first generator you see at the hardware store. The two main types out there, inverter and conventional, are just fundamentally different beasts. They're built for totally different jobs, and knowing that difference is absolutely key.
So let's meet our two contenders. In this corner, you've got the conventional generator. Think of it as the old-school, tough-as-nails workhorse. And in the other corner, we have the inverter generator, the modern, super-efficient tech whiz.
At their heart, the difference is actually pretty simple. The conventional generator is all about raw, brute force power, just pure muscle. The inverter, on the other hand, is all about finesse. It uses some pretty clever tech to create a super clean and stable stream of electricity.
So how does that workhorse get the job done? Well, it's a very direct process. It burns fuel to spin an engine at one constant blazing speed. We're talking 3,600 RPM to crank out AC power. It's effective, for sure, but because it's always running full tilt, the power isn't always perfectly smooth. Now the TechWhiz plays a completely different game. Instead of going full blast all the time, an inverter is smart. It actually throttles its engine up or down to perfectly match the exact amount of power you're using at that moment. And that is the secret to its amazing efficiency.
It does this with a cool three-step process. First, it makes raw AC power, just like the conventional guy. But then, here's the magic. It converts that into DC power. And for the grand finale, it inverts that DC power back into a perfect, clean AC current. You get no spikes, no drops, just pure, smooth power that your electronics will love.
All right, introductions are over. We know how they work. Now it's time for the main event, the head-to-head showdown. We're going to compare them across all the categories that really matter: noise, efficiency, power quality, and yup, you guessed it, the price tag.
So here's our tale of the tape. And as you can see, there are some pretty clear trade-offs.
The inverter is the clear winner on power quality, noise, and efficiency, but the conventional model often packs a bigger punch for raw power and definitely wins on the upfront cost.
And let's talk about noise for a second, because, wow, the difference is just staggering. An inverter generator hums along at about the same volume as a normal conversation. A conventional one, it's like having a lawnmower running right next to your ear. If you're camping or have neighbors, that's a total game changer.
Now for a really crucial point, power quality. Conventional generators produce what we call dirty power. That means it has high distortion, it's just not stable. Now that's totally fine for a power saw, but it can actually fry the sensitive electronics in your laptop, your smartphone, or that big flat-screen TV. It's a real risk.
Okay, what about the fuel? This is a huge one. Because an inverter only makes the power you actually need, it sips gas. We're talking up to 60% more fuel efficient. That means it'll run way longer during an outage, and you'll save a ton of money on gas over time.
So, we've looked at all the tech specs, but let's get down to it. The real question is, which one of these is the champion for you and your needs? Because it's all about matching the right tool to the right job. And honestly, the best use cases are like night and day. If you need quiet, portable power for camping or tailgating, or you need clean energy for your laptop during a blackout, the inverter is your hands-down winner. But if you're running heavy-duty saws on a job site, or you need to power a well pump on a farm, the raw, affordable muscle of a conventional generator just can't be beat.
So to sum it up for the inverter, it's incredibly efficient, which means longer runtimes. It's quiet and easy to carry around. And most importantly, it gives you that clean, safe power that all our modern gadgets demand. It's the smart, precise choice.
And the pros for the conventional generator? It's all about power and value. It's way more affordable up front, it has the muscle to start up big motors, and parts are usually pretty easy to find. It's the rugged, no-frills workhorse.
This brings us to the final round, and it's a big one: cost versus value. We know the inverter costs more to buy,
But does that tell the whole story? Is that higher price tag worth it in the long run?
Yeah, there's no way around it. An inverter is going to hit your wallet harder at the checkout. It can easily cost 50% more than a conventional model with the same power output. You're typically looking at anywhere from $500 to $3,000.
But then you've got to factor this in. Because it's so incredibly fuel efficient, you could easily save $100, maybe even $200 a year on fuel alone, especially if you use it regularly. And when you do that math, those fuel savings mean the entire price difference could be paid back in just 1 or 2 years. Suddenly, that higher sticker price starts to look a lot more like a really smart investment, doesn't it? So, we're back to that big question. When you weigh the higher upfront cost against the long-term savings, the quiet operation, and the clean power, is the higher price actually worth it? You know, in the end, there's no single winner for everybody. The right choice really just boils down to your priorities. What do you care about more? Are you looking for the most raw power for the lowest possible price? Or do you value clean, quiet, and efficient power for the long haul? So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. As our world gets filled with more and more smart devices and sensitive electronics, and as our power grids get a little less predictable, what is the true value of having clean, quiet, and totally reliable power ready to go at a moment's notice? That's the real question.